Let's see. I think we're live. Let's see. Are we live? Yeah,
No message saying we're live. I don't know.
yeah, it sounds like we're live. Hello, everyone. Sir Owen Disney here, alongside Ashley. And Ashley is the one who does our gaming segments usually on this channel. And he also joins us for what we are now calling Popcast. They're officially Popcasts.
Probably. Until we find some witty name that WWE will steal.
Okay, are we good now?
I think so.
If anybody can hear us, please let us know. If you're in the chat room, thank you for joining us today. We're going to talk about Extreme Rules, which just ended a few minutes ago. And I literally mean a few minutes ago.
Literally.
Yeah, literally is the word of the night. All right, so we started this popcasting deal a long time ago. It was actually an original idea that we were going to do for the channel. We were going to get everybody together in some sort of like a fireside chat, and we were going to talk about random things. Well, that's what it is now. That's what a popcast is at this moment.
Yeah, it's that sort of spiel and chenille and everything.
I've got the live chat up in case anybody joins us. It is muted though, so we don't have any like reverb.
Yeah, I've just checked. We are coming over the internets of internets.
Yay, we're on the internet. Sweet. And I just said hello to no one. Sweet. It's okay. Worst comes to worst, and we don't get anybody in the chat room or any questions or anything. It's no big deal. This is just a trial run, basically, anyway.
Worst comes to worst, this is archived so people can catch it, you know.
Yep, that's correct. Okay, so Ashley, I'm sure, did you said before to me before we started talking tonight on the actual podcast, is that you missed the first 40 minutes of the pay-per-view?
Yeah, I missed pretty much everything up to the ending of the kiss my JoJo saying it right match.
Yeah, that was just adorable. I'm not gonna lie. Kiss me arse. I think it was just basically an excuse just to get Sheamus to say that word over and over again.
The most confusing thing though was because I did see like the start of the pre-show. They kept advertising the tag match, and then, oh wait, the tag match is actually going to be on the main card. We're just going to give you the match, which is covering the fact that Daniel Bryan still is hurt.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but it's going to happen, isn't it?
God. I will say right now, when it comes down to it, though, we understood there was a good possibility that Daniel Bryan wasn't going to be able to compete tonight, and we pretty much had to know that it was going to happen. And this morning, there was a lot of reports from fans that were around the Chicago area that on Twitter they said that Bryan was nowhere to be found in the vicinity. So he's probably still convalescing right now.
Yeah, over the fact that the Bellas are still a harem, apparently. That's probably why.
Do you agree that Bryan came back too fast?
We've seen people come back that fast and not be too bad. I think in this situation, I guess due to the severity of the injury, this case it probably was a bit too soon. But then again, realistically, he had to show up. Because if he missed WrestleMania, the fans would have just turned their back on him.
Yeah, but the thing is Bryan has got this kind of popularity that he's going to be over pretty regardless whatever WWE wants to do to him. Kind of like what basically has been going on with Dolph Ziggler lately, too.
Yeah, but if he keeps getting injured and being out for prolonged periods, eventually even the diehards will go, look, can we just do, a Black Beauty and just put him out to stud or whatever?
What worries me is that he's going to join that list of people like a Fandango and like a Wade Barrett, that he'd be so-called snake-bitten because he's so injury-prone right now.
Which is harsh, considering how John Cena runs with Knox all the time.
Yeah. It's just, okay. If Bryan needs to take a considerable amount of time off, everyone should understand. I know why they wouldn't, but he needs to get himself healthy before he comes back full-time. And if he's back 100%, that's a good thing. But if he's back maybe 50%, it's a great thing for merchandise sales and ticket revenue, but not a great idea for Bryan.
Yeah.
So you didn't see the kickoff at all?
When I had to restart my computer and everything, I saw sort of the first few minutes of what turned out to be a match which you could have probably put on the show rather than have filler.
I would have put it on the show without a doubt.
With Neville and Barrett. Sorry, Adrian Neville.
Neville Man. # Neville Man.
I'm just going by his real name because, I need to stick with that, so I'll have to remember that for the rest of the show.
That'll work. So we have, the opening of the kickoff, which of course is promoted by Mountain Dew Kickstart, which, cheap plug, there is videos of on this channel, on the Sip and Snack list.
Shh.
Hey, I had to put
There's
it over.
some Mountain Dew. Give him money. He promoted the stuff for you for free.
Yes.
Give him money.
I love me some Diet Dew, sir. I really do. So Corey Graves rocks this really awesome, he looks like a talk show host with his awesome glasses and his skull and crossbones tie.
This is what happens when, you get a TV series when you get to go to Marvel.
That's
and
true.
Clearly avoid CM Punk.
He's come a long way since the Indies, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And kudos to him for actually making it, without a doubt.
The match itself was, from what I've heard from other people that have been seeing it, was a really good opener. And so good it probably should have been on the card.
Oh, trust me, we're going to talk about it in great depth, and you know how I do things when it comes to me talking about matches.
Sheer noted.
But before I do, I'll say right now that basically Booker T at one point mentions on the kickoff panel that everyone hated Melina, which was funny to me. And Byron... Yeah, exactly. So Byron Saxton was out there, and Dean Ambrose comes out, and he says he basically is just going to beat the tar out of Luke Harper whenever he comes through the curtain when the fireworks and the pyro go off. Bray Wyatt cuts another promo, and he says, "A man cannot become a god, but a god can walk amongst men. You will cower, you will tremble. Behold the new face of fear."
I'm trying to think who that would be.
Well, it's weird because there's a lot. Okay, everybody's mentioning, they're talking Orton, they're talking Reigns, they're talking Ryback, because that seems to be what they're doing for the live events. And everybody's thinking that because it's the live events, that's going to be the program that we actually do.
Who was the wrestling god bloke?
JBL?
Yeah, it's JBL.
Yeah, JBL's going to...
JBL.
Good, maybe you can get him off commentary.
Hey, if it was good enough for Brock Lesnar doing Cole.
I'm sure JBL could take better bumps than Michael Cole can.
Mario.
Maggle. Maggle. Mr. I don't know how to put the L in Ziggler.
Zigger.
I'm telling you what.
He's doing that for the Spice Girls, Zigga Zigga.
One day he's going to slip, and then there's going to be a lot of problems for WWE.
Harlem Heat's going to show up and just go.
We're coming for you.
Corpsing.
Yeah, they're like, send for the man. So apparently we've both been watching Matthew lately in Botchamania.
No, I was just going because there would be corpsing.
Yeah, totally.
Digital promo back when it was Harlem Heat. They should be laughing so much behind that smile.
Oh yeah, I could definitely tell.
Anyway, let's get to the match. We can't spend 2 hours on here talking about stuff.
Oh, we totally can. It's just the way that we do things. If you're new to watching any of the wrestling recaps, I'm kind of a commentator, so I kind of call the match, and that's pretty much how I work things. So before the match starts, Bad News Barrett comes out, and he basically nonchalantly says he's got some bad news. Daniel Bryan's not here. He's basically afraid of me, and he calls himself the UK Michael Jordan, except for his gambling addictions.
I don't know.
Why don't we send out Neville here?
That way Barrett did on Tiddlywinks back in the day. Holy crap.
Oh, wow.
The first rule about Tiddlywinks is you do not talk about Tiddlywinks.
That's right.
Second rule is no smoking.
Bare knuckles fighting at all times. So he basically says, in these words, send out Neville to take the bullhammer that was destined for Daniel Bryan. This match...
If he's going to be given the bullhammer.
Yeah, well, we'll see. This match was really good back and forth match, and it's funny because Neville actually got the pin on Barrett in the tag match they had on SmackDown on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So by Wrestling 101, that means that Barrett should have went over, but this was kind of a thrown together match at the end, so that's probably the reason why it didn't matter about any logic. Neville really needs to continue to be built up because I have a feeling that he's got a really good chance of winning that King of the Ring tournament that they're doing on Tuesday.
Well, we don't know about that. We'll have to see what happens with it.
Well, we know it's a tournament that's going to be an hour long on the network at 8 o'clock, but we only know the semifinals and the finals. Is that all that's going to be on there?
All we know is that there will be a live wrestling show at 8 on Tuesday. So in essence, it's going to be like the old main event slot.
That's exactly what it's going to be like.
They haven't really specified whether it's a one-night tournament,
mm-hmm.
or whether it's actually going to be like a tournament that goes on for the next few weeks. We'll find out by Raw tomorrow, I'm pretty sure.
And then we'll go live after Raw for another podcast, and we'll talk about what we just watched.
I guess it would be appropriate if it went to Payback.
I'd say so. Finals of Payback?
Well, wasn't there I'm trying to think. The King of the Ring match, wasn't it at, like, Vengeance one year?
Something like that.
Actually had it. No, it wasn't. The last one was when Lesnar won in 2002, in terms of the actual pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I think the other ones were just when they felt like it. I can't remember.
Yeah, 2010 was the last actual King of the Ring tournament.
Yeah, and look what happened to that guy. He turned into a bloody troll doll.
Yeah. I think
Sheamus, by how much wacky backy you smoked in order to think that appearance would get you over.
It's giving him a lot of heat, though. I'll say that right now.
Yeah, probably because he's too hot. All that hair. I think the aircon that he's going to have in his trailer. Dear Lord.
I actually have an idea for what they could possibly do with Sheamus down the line, but we can't really talk about that until we get to that match. So no. We're still on Barrett and Neville. We still haven't gotten started yet.
Yeah, this is the problem. We need to be quicker. We can't go for 4 hours.
I understand that. So let's talk about it. We can't
complain you and just pad out time. Oh yeah, we can.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It was I think it's a smart move anyway, because I think if you have to get a big face into that picture, clearly they don't want it to be Ambrose at the minute, which I think they're idiots about.
It's true.
But Neville is a good choice as well.
He is. He definitely is, because everybody's buying into him for sure.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the match, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Barrett hits the big boot, gets a 2 off of that, chokes him on the middle rope, hits a nice slingshot backdrop suplex-style backbreaker, gets a 2 off of that, locks in a chin lock, Neville punches his way out, tosses him off to the ropes, hits the spinning back kick, the front kick, the spinning back kick, ducks the clothesline, and he gets drop kick to the knee. Barrett goes down and gets the sliding drop kick right to the side of the head. Barrett goes to the floor and eats a spaceman plancha. Back in the ring, the deadlift German suplex gets a 2 count. What's with all the deadlifts lately? It's been happening a lot more than normal.
It's the new Canadian Destroyer. Everybody wants to do it, apparently.
Yeah, but it's a lot easier to do a deadlift than a Canadian Destroyer.
Tell that to every single wrestler that's done it as their finisher within the past month, including Rey Mysterio.
Well, Neville ends up getting caught with Winds of Change, but he only gets a 2 count off of that, does Barrett. So he goes for Wasteland, gets countered, elbows out of it, whips him in, reverses, charges in, and he backdrops him over the top rope to the floor. He goes for the springboard, and Neville gets caught with Wasteland, but he kicks out at 2.5. Goes for the bullhammer, it's ducked, Enziguri kick heads up top for the Red Arrow, but it gets stopped. He gets crotched up top, bullhammer is loaded, it misses. He leapfrogs over the top, hits the high kick, Red Arrow, 1, 2, 3, and Neville wins. Great match. Really great back and forth match. I love the finish, too.
Good to hear.
I'm a big Barrett fan, though, but I mean, it's Neville's time right now. It really is, but they really have to worry about burning him out on the crowd. Him and the Lucha Dragons have the same issue right now. If you push him too hard, too fast, people will get tired of it.
Yeah, but then you have the opposite.
Yeah, if you slow burn him too long, they'll give up on him.
They have the teams that get pushed, then they give up on, and then they become tag team champions. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, we certainly will. Okay, so actually the show does start out with the Chicago Street fight between Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper. A really weird spot at the beginning of the match. Harper goes for an over-the-shoulder power slam. He kind of fights to get Ambrose up, and he ends up giving him snake eyes in the corner with the chair that's lodged between the top and middle ropes. So I thought that was something worth mentioning.
Mm-hmm.
So later on in the match, Harper eats the Tornado DDT, and he starts punching away and chopping away, punches and chops, comes off the ropes, gets caught with a side kick, but no effect. Harper drop kicks, sends him to the floor, and he ends up getting hit with that standing elbow drop. 1, 2, and a kick out. Goes for Dirty Deeds version 2, but it ends up getting countered. And it's short, ricochets back into the big boot. So the powerbomb is countered, charges Ambrose, low bridge, and of course he goes for the tope, and he gets caught, but he spins around and hits the jawbreaker lariat anyway. Starts caning away on Harper all the way up the aisle, so he canes him literally up the aisle. Harper gets in a vehicle and speeds away.
And
Ambrose dives in. Ambrose jumps in, and he gets shoved off, but then he dives in, and Harper, literally speeds away. So, bye.
Yeah, from what I saw from the write-up, bloody JBL said, I wonder if they're going to have a helicopter following them.
Yeah, I heard that. And then the fans in the arena started chanting for CM Punk immediately. And they were booing because they thought that was the end of the match. Ye have little faith.
Technically, that's the longest hardcore match in WWE history.
I'm honestly surprised during the 24/7 rule, the Hardcore Championship did not have a 24-hour match.
They wouldn't be able to because there wasn't live streaming capabilities.
Obviously you would have been able to film things, but
It only lasted 15 seconds.
That's true. Yeah, about 14 seconds longer than should have.
Boom!
that That just happened.
Time shorter, and you're better.
Periscope for life. So Triple H is he's texting in the back. Kane shows up. He's like, "You need to find Luke Harper and Dean Ambrose wherever they went, and you get on that right now." Rollins shows up like, "Yeah, that's right. You go get him. You go find him." And he questions why Kane threw him into the spear on SmackDown. And Kane's like, "I'm just protecting you." So they argue back and forth. Rollins tells him to take responsibility for his own actions. And, of course, Rollins is once again called an ungrateful punk. The fans start chanting boring. And then the not the announce team, but the production team pick up on it. And if you notice, Ashley, they somewhat muted the chants. It got really lower.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not either. Okay, you want to talk about Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler?
All I know is the match pretty much went as I thought it would.
Yeah, there's no one that didn't predict what was going to happen here. Couple things before we start. Like I said before, in the Kiss Me Arse match, it's really super cute when JoJo says it because I just think it's absolutely adorable. And if you notice, JoJo was sharing announcing duties with Eden Styles all night, so Lillian can stay gone if she really wants to regroup and recoup herself. So
yeah,
I don't have a problem with the ladies at WWE sharing.
They're doing a good job of getting the two to tandem to give them more experience, though. That's the important thing.
Yeah, because JoJo before that was basically doing announcing for NXT, so. I noticed that they mentioned the tweets. But as I wrote in my notes, not those tweets. do you want to get into you want to get into what Dolph's saying online right now?
I haven't seen him myself. Basically, it's sort of he feels sick of being left in the mid-card when he should be going at the top. And people like Cena are getting all the attention.
Yeah.
Being US champ and everything.
Yeah, God.
Clearly just being in a storyline because he is Sylvester Stallone to Rusev's Dolph Lundgren.
Well, he said, "Caddy, cheerleader, or guy who almost wins. I love a challenge. If this is it, bet your ass I'm going out swinging. Hashtag Extreme Rules." There's a lot of people online thinking that Dolph Ziggler may be on his way out in 5 months.
Well, we'll see.
I honestly can't tell you at this point because I could see a reason for him to stay, and I could see a really good reason for him to go. It just kind of depends on what he really wants to do personally.
Yeah.
If he really cares about his position in the company, and I can understand where someone would, even though it's work, but still, if he really cares about his position in the company, I can see a reason why he'd want to leave WWE, because just ask the Young Bucks, WWE and AJ Styles together. When it comes down to it, WWE is not greener pastures all the time. You can make more money sometimes in the independents in Japan.
Depending on your reputation, yeah. Or if you're Prince Devitt.
Yeah, oh, God. I'm very excited for him to come up, honestly. But I'll say right now, when it comes down to it, I know everybody's like, I'm waiting for all these NXT guys to come up. Let them stay at NXT for a while, because enough people come up, we're going to have what happened at ECW towards the end. There was like no one left, and they had to bring in new talent. And sometimes the new talent worked, and sometimes it didn't.
And when it didn't, it was good television. Car crash television.
Yeah, that was...
When you need him. Oh, wait, he's on the network.
You can watch all the ECW on the network if you really wanted to. And I advise you to, because ECW is awesome. All right.
Talking of Extreme Rules.
Yeah. Well, there was an ECW spot in the match, but not in this one. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So Sheamus and Dolph, I I gotta hand it to Dolph for hitting the exclamation point DDT off the ring steps on the Sheamus on the floor. That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sheamus ends up going for like a pump knee strike. Basically the bro kick with the knee instead of a kick. And Jerry Lawler gets one of the lines of the night on commentary. He talks about his Kiss My Foot match with Bret the Hitman Hart at King of the Ring 93. And he says, I didn't wash my feet for 3 weeks. And he's like, I wonder if these guys didn't. And then he pauses and he stops himself. And I'm thinking, did you want to say that you're wondering if they were not watching their buttocks for the match? Yeah.
That might explain the Dingleberry comment you saw.
Yeah. JBL still can't say the word Ziggler. Seriously, there is an L in Ziggler. How hard is that?
Not even say Mangle.
Maggle. He wouldn't say Mangle, he would say Maggle. He's Maggling him. Sheamus hits 2 short arm clotheslines and he says, little fellas don't belong in my ring. And then he goes for the chin lock.
Little fellas don't belong in my ring. Is that a euphemism?
Well, he's not facing Seth Rollins.
Or Jimmy Wang yet.
Yeah. So, locks in the chin lock. He gets punched out. So that's how Dolph escapes. He starts punching away, gets tossed to the rope, stuck to the clothesline, and peppers Sheamus with 3 right hands. 2 of the splashes in the corner, and he ends up eating the axe handle, and that just cuts Dolph off when he's going for the reverse neckbreaker. Super kick is caught, turned around into a cloverleaf, which is countered into an inside cradle 1-2, and no. So Dolph hits super kick and does actually connect this time and gets a 2 off of that. Sheamus catches them off with the elevator down or the pop-up hot shot right across the top rope, and then nails him with a really nice Total World backbreaker, which Michael Cole called the Irish Curse, by the way.
Done it again.
Sheamus hits Orange Crush. I guess we'll call it Green Crush, because I believe there was a green variant of Crush.
Just call it Ginger Nuts.
Ginger Crush.
No, Ginger Nuts.
Ginger Nuts. Oh, boy.
Probably fits.
Oh, my God. Alright, so he sets up for the Brogue Kick. Of course, he gets countered with a roll-up. He only gets a 2 off of that. Over-the-shoulder power slam connects, gets a 2 off of that. Goes for a suplex, gets countered with an inside cradle, and that's all Dolph needed to win.
Yep.
So Sheamus
the upset victory, which everyone saw. Well, I saw coming.
I saw coming too. Yeah, we both predicted it. So he basically gets out of the ring and tries to escape through the crowd. Then he goes to the timekeeper and complains to him. So Sheamus finally gets on his knees. It looks like he's going to do it. And lo and behold, to the shock of absolutely no one, he low blows Ziggler and nails him with a Brogue Kick.
That man is a god.
And then after this is over, to add more insult to injury, he says basically that you don't call him a liar. I promise these people you kiss me arse, and it's going to happen. So he took the unconscious face of Dolph Ziggler and rubbed it against his cheeks. And then he left, because Sheamus is awesome.
That's what happens after a European tour. You get tased.
So, Ashley, are you thinking there is validity to the statement that Dolph Ziggler may be in the doghouse, or is this one of those everybody's got to take their lumps every once in a while?
Sheamus has to be put over because he's made his return.
Agreed, but you don't have to humiliate people to do that.
You needed the stipulation for that match.
You needed a...
Matches, you had to do something out of field. Sadly, it was, something which didn't even work in the Attitude Era 13 years ago.
No, it didn't.
Thanks, Vince. You ruined something else.
You know what? Apart from your childhood?
Yeah.
So, Ashley, here's my question to you. What about a hair versus hair match?
They couldn't get rid of it that quick.
No, 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 no. I mean SummerSlam.
If it goes that far, possibly.
Because I don't know what would happen in that situation. Would they just? I mean, Ziggler involved would be just strange.
The
Sheamus.
problem is the feud has to go for another 4 months in order for that to happen.
Well, what do we have after Payback? Money in the Bank?
No.
There's one more before that.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Well, you've got a pay-per-view in May.
Oh, I forgot what day it is. Yeah, good point.
Then a pay-per-view in... No, I think June is Money in the Bank.
It is, because it's going to be in my home arena in Nationwide in Columbus.
There's something else in July.
Yeah, Battleground.
Yeah. So it's still 4 months, though. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't have a feud go on that long. Isn't that right, Big Show and Roman Reigns?
I think that's over, though, honestly. I think they put the kibosh on that tonight in the right way. We'll talk about that in a little bit. They could push it. Well, if they don't go all the way to SummerSlam, they could always blow it off at Money in the Bank.
Probably.
It just depends at this point. I don't know how many people actually care, but I guess we'll see. I mean, the matches are good.
Yeah. You know, the reason why we're just talking about Money in the Bank, in case you're wondering why, is because we're only a couple of pay-per-views away, and you need to start building it somewhere, and to work out who's going to be the 6 or the 8, however many it is going to be this year, that are going to be inserted into that match.
Well, would you put Sheamus and Dolph both in it? I would.
Probably.
Put Neville in there. You put Barrett in there. I want Fandango in there, but I don't. They're going to have to start using him on Raw on a regular basis.
Rusev's a shout.
What'd you say?
Rusev's a shout.
Rusev's a really good one. Since it sounds like they're going to blow off his feud with Cena next month.
Yeah, which we'll get to.
Yeah, we will. Okay, let's talk about the tag team title match. Did you see this at all?
Yeah. Heel versus heel, and just by default, the champion heels had to be cheered.
Well, I think...
Cesaro.
They're cheering Cesaro, but it's funny because Tyson actually got a good face reaction towards the middle of the match, too. You could make them face, honestly. You could keep Kid and Cesaro face.
We'll see.
But then you have too many face teams.
The problem is, this was just dealt wrong, and I don't know why they're trying to force the New Day on us now, when they should have done it probably 12 months ago.
Yeah.
It's just too late.
They're all super...
That's where the crowd just turned, because it's just like, why are they still being grouped and paired together when the gimmick never worked in the first place?
They're all super talented, but they just don't seem like they're utilizing this. They didn't utilize the gimmick right away. If this would have been a heel gimmick right away, I think we'd be fine right now.
More than likely.
Because it more than enough fit the criteria for a heel gimmick right away, but they didn't go with it. And now the fans have turned on it, and they're basically getting a really favorable reaction. All right, let's talk about the match, shall we? So, Cesaro, it's a really sweet gorilla press, and he presses Kofi on top of the top turnbuckle. And then he basically takes him post to post with a Swiss uppercut over and over again. He hits the short arm clothesline, gets a 2 off that, goes for the double leg, and of course that is signaling for the swing. But that didn't work.
What was about the swing?
It's always, yeah, definitely all about the swing, without a doubt. So later on in the match, he hits the outside in superplex. And, of course, Tyson Kidd comes off with the springboard elbow. We get a 2.5 off of that. He goes for the sharpshooter on Kofi, gets kicked off, backdrop, lands on the ring apron, tags in Big E, and Tyson Kidd high kicks Kofi. Big E spears Tyson Kidd off the ring apron to the floor. I'm telling you, Big E is very underrated. He's had some really great matches on pay-per-view, and it'd be a shame to really not utilize him at all. Would you agree?
Yeah, but also I'm sick of seeing Moose on my indie coverage at the minute, so I have personal issues.
I gotcha. So Cesaro charges him, he gets backdropped on the floor, and Kofi gets tagged in, and they hit their tandem finish, and of course Cesaro makes a save. Big E and Cesaro go over, of course, the top rope to the floor, so they're out of action. Trouble in Paradise is caught by Tyson going for the sharpshooter, and Big E comes in and just tosses him over with an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. Kofi charges in, eats the feet, tagging Cesaro, and the swing kick does connect, but there's no referee.
Of course.
Natty slaps Xavier Woods on the outside, and Kofi ends up using the confusion to end up rolling up Cesaro with the tights for the 1-2-3, and the New Day are the new WWE Tag Team Champions. I'm not sure I like this. But I understand why it was done.
You know, apart from the bloke that wrote it.
You know why it was done, right?
I don't know. They don't like Meghan Trainor.
It's more money in having the heels be the ones with the championships and the babyface chase.
Heels.
They're going to be. You're going to have to turn Cesaro and Kidd face. Because they're not ready for the Lucha Dragons to get this push yet, so that's the only option while the Usos are out.
Why not? Why aren't they ready?
Well, I think they're ready, but they seem like they've cooled on them a bit for the time being.
That was the problem with the Ascension. You beat them up and did nothing with them.
The Ascension
if Lucha Dragon suddenly got the belts, it would be like, wow, they actually are trying to shake up the division. Not giving a team that's been absolutely crap for the past 12 months.
You want to talk about having the Lucha Dragons get like a flash pin on Raw tomorrow night and take the titles?
No, they'll probably do it next week in Montreal.
Yeah, that makes total sense given Kalisto's past in Canada.
Yeah.
That makes a whole lot of sense, actually.
And Sami Zayn just backstage smiling.
That's literally all you see, is you see him on the monitor just smiling, and they don't even explain why it's there. They're just, it's there.
Somebody's better. So if anybody's watching or listening to this or whichever, you might have it in the background because it's audio.
It's all audio.
You're lazy. If somebody is going to that Montreal show next week, take a big Sami Zayn face. I want to see a huge Sami Zayn face just in the crowd, like you see those occasional times.
The Colt Cabana faces we see in the crowds most of the time?
Actually, another one would be the one with John Cena with the chain across his face.
I want to see that.
Crop it out, blow it up big time, and, you know.
Hashtag 50 Shades of Rusev.
Wow.
Yeah. So, apparently, just like going back to WrestleMania and the backlot brawl between Roddy Piper and Goldust, once the OJ chase is over, they both come back to the arena, and they interrupt the New Day's promo after winning the tag team titles. And, of course, Harper smartly moves out of the way when Ambrose dives off the top of the vehicle onto the New Day.
Yeah.
So the camera basically misses that dive, so it's kind of seen halfway, but not quite. All right, so we get back in the ring, and super kick connects, and of course that just sends him to the ropes. And of course, that means it's time for Jawbreaker Lariat. Harper gets a chair, Ambrose gets a chair, and we go the Funks against Public Enemy at the ECW arena. They're all tossing chairs inside the ring, but it's just them. It's not the crowd this time.
I'm gonna say not exactly.
So, of course, that's the closest you're going to get in PG era, sir.
Who says we're still in the PG era?
At this point, I'd say we're at the PG-13 era.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to put it. Right now, WWE is PG-13. Some nights harder than others. That's a horrible statement I just said, considering someone could have turned on the podcast right now.
2 minutes after talking about 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Hashtag, nothing.
Hashtag knowing songs.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah, that's the gimmick on the Popcast. I always try to do, the hashtag thing, because if you are live with us and you are listening to us chat about Extreme Rules, you're more than welcome to use the hashtag WWE Popcast, Popcast, and you can tweet your questions to Ashley or myself. We do have one, actually, but we'll get to that at the end of the pay-per-view.
Oh.
So we'll get to this, and of course, after all the chairs are tossed in, they fight, and Harper hits a sit-out powerbomb on the chairs, gets 2 off of that, and Ambrose gets stockpiled with chairs. Harper heads up top, and of course, this is not going to go the right way. Ambrose explodes out of the chairs, comes up, and rocket launches Harper onto the pile of chairs. Hits the Dirty Deeds, missing every single chair, and gets a 3 count off of that.
Yep.
Dean Ambrose has won on pay-per-view. How long has it been?
Pretty much. Did he? Was he in the Royal? Was he in a match at the Royal Rumble?
Let's see. Don't forget the Royal Rumble is basically the reason I stopped watching WWE.
True.
Yeah, just some people predicting what could be. Never mind. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, let me look real quick, to be honest, because I honestly don't know. I remember not liking the Rumble, and I remember that's pretty much what turned me off of WWE for a while, so.
Boo.
Hey, I'm back now. It took a couple months, but I'm back. I came back for WrestleMania, and now I'm back. Until they take... and you reap the benefits of this.
Yeah, by falling asleep.
Exactly. All right, so where were we? Russian chain match: John Cena versus Rusev.
Better than a lot of people thought, I think.
Yeah. I don't believe. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe we've seen a chain match on pay-per-view since Nikita Koloff and Sting. Great American Bash '91.
Chain match, yeah, but you're obviously on the variant of a rope match or whatever, which we've seen in more recently.
Yeah, with the WWE having those really cool red and green lights.
For a minute, I thought it was the Stanley Cup.
Only thing was missing was the air horn.
Chicago finished yesterday. That screwed that up. I was gonna say they could use the same lights tomorrow.
Ooh, you do realize that it was not done by accident that Rusev's light was red.
I don't know. I think green is supposed to be the face, and red is supposed to be the heel.
Yeah, because green is go Cena go, and red is stop Rusev stop.
Or something, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, so Lana actually got a favorable reaction from the crowd because duh. And she actually got up on the ring apron and started to do her smiling, waving. Because obviously she can't promote Pitch Perfect, too. So, I mean, this is probably the closest you're going to get until she has her face turn, which I'm sure is coming next month.
Eventually.
I'd say I have a feeling I know where we're going to go with on Payback, but we'll talk about that as we finish this. Rusev doesn't tell her to get down off the apron. Rusev tells her to bomb out and not come back.
Mm-hmm.
So the chain shot is ducked. Cena hits the proto bomb. 5-knuckle shuffle goes for the AA. Rusev grabs the ropes. And he gets caught with a sidewalk slam. Stomp goes for the accolade, but gets his ankle picked and the STF, which is a smart move to use to basically wear someone down. But if you wear down someone in a chain match, you basically just have to drag dead weight around. So yeah, submission move is a good thing in one ways, but a bad thing in others.
Yeah. Well, considering you're saying it's the final chapter, I think logically, if that's the case, Rusev has to lose. Otherwise, sort of defeating the purpose there.
Yeah, but if you're doing a feud, sometimes the heel has to win.
Not in a final chapter.
But in another chapter that's not the final chapter, a heel probably should win every once in a while.
Yeah, I don't think it will happen.
No, it's not going to. But I mean, and I know exactly how the match is going to end. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's go to the finish, basically, shall we? So obviously, Rusev does get the accolade on. Cena picks him up on his back because he's Superman after all, like the internet says, and backs him into the corner. Rusev touches twice, and then Cena stops the touching with the wow. He stops the touching of turnbuckles. I got to worry about what I'm saying here with the AA.
Oh no!
God, bad touch. Yes. So Cena touches one buckle. Rusev. Huh?
I'd appreciate your input.
Oh, Lord. Cena touches one, Rusev touches the other. God, stupid match. So, basically, the point here is they both get to 3-on-3, and they have a tug of war, which usually if someone touches you, that automatically stops the count normally, right? But no. Cena hit the AA, touches the fourth, and that's the match.
Of course.
What do you think of the match?
As I said, better than I thought. I thought it was going to be a bit of a yawn fest, but it was surprisingly good.
I had a lot of hope for this match, actually. This was one of the matches on the card that I was really interested in happening. And a great way to end the match, which probably should end the final match and not this one, because they pretty much blew the finish on that one. The American flag drops after Cena wins. I would have saved that for the I Quit match.
I don't know.
Well, we'll talk about that. Actually, I'll go ahead a little bit, and then we'll talk about the Divas title match. Rusev is yelling at Lana. Lana goes dejected to the authority door, and then later on she comes back, and Rusev is cutting a promo. I'm going way into the event on this one. He says, Cena's never beaten me, and she says, it is done. You get the final chapter at Payback, and it will be an I Quit match. Rusev says, America is a country of quitters, and at Payback, John Cena will be the one who quits. Okay. Good luck with that, Rusev.
Well, we'll have to see what Obama does.
I think Cena has Rusev in the STF in some way that's a little bit more diabolical than anything normal, like maybe the chain possibly. And Lana's the one who throws in the towel, and that's going to be what leads to their split.
Yeah, because you've got to make, she can't be a heel when she's banging Edge. I'm only guessing that she's banging him because that's all she did in when she was on that TV series. What was it?
Well, she got a house with Rusev legitimately, so.
Yeah, but I guess she's still going to be banging Edge in the new movie.
Oh, yeah, of course. And we're not talking about Pitch Perfect either. Edge is not in Pitch Perfect, too.
Well, that'd be different if it was.
It really would. So, yeah, we're going to get an I Quit match, and like I said, I think that she throws the towel in and does the old Bret Hart Bob Backlund finish when Owen Hart threw the towel in for Bret. I think that's pretty much what we're going to do the same thing on. That makes sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with the Divas title match. Apparently someone's listening because Naomi got new heel music, finally. I believe Cinema Sins would call her Discount Nicki Minaj. Ding! So yeah, what do you think of this match with Naomi and Nikki Bella for the Divas Championship?
It was a good match.
It was. I really enjoyed it.
And I thought the concept still is really stupid.
No heels in the. There's no faces in this match, even though they're trying to push Nikki Bella as a face. But after all the heinous stuff she's done, some people aren't going to be so quick to forget that or forgive that.
Yeah.
So yeah, this match it gave it a little bit of time actually, which is good. Naomi hits the sit out full Nelson, gets a 2 off of that. Charges in, Nikki makes her eat the back elbow, and basically hits Cody Rhodes' disaster kick and gets a 2 off of that. Behind the referee's back, Brie ends up high kicking Naomi in the side of the head, and the rack attack actually finishes off Naomi, and Nikki wins. So obviously, booking would allow me to believe that Cameron would come back in order to combat Brie. Would they do that again?
God, I hope not.
I don't want that to happen, but I believe that it could. Just biding time till Paige comes back from filming of Santa's Little Helper. That's what I'm guessing.
I know. These movies are starting to get a problem now.
Yeah, because there's
good talent having to disappear.
It's ridiculous.
And Summer Rae.
Hey now. Hey now, sir.
Don't dream it's over. Oh, it's crowded out.
Don't forget. Don't forget, I can't say I'm the president of the Summer Rae's Pretty Fan Club, but I'm definitely in there. So I might be the president. Who knows?
Marine 4. You were part of the problem.
I haven't seen the movie, and I've never seen one of those movies. I don't think I ever will.
Next week on AJ's movie review.
The Avengers 2 and Ex Machina, actually.
And Marine 4.
No. He is doing Sharknado, though, because we've done the other ones. Because I actually have some friends that are in this one, because they filmed it at Universal.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. So let's talk about a Kindle stick, shall we?
Kendall Mincake Sticks. Yeah! Maggle!
Maggle Kindle sticks. Zigger, Kindle sticks, Maggle. Jamie, I'll go back to your private island and play some golf.
Tubbles, and Lindas, and Chins. Oh my!
I'm super happy that he brings the old school references that make me laugh and be like, hey, I think I'm one of the only people that understands what they're saying. But by and large, JBL is a horrible commentator.
Maggle. That's what needs to be said. Just Maggle.
Maggle. Let's talk about Last Man Standing, Big Show, and Roman Reigns. First off, let's talk about the sign. The first part of it said "Last Man Awake."
Which one? That was slow.
And you get to say the other part of it.
What, the signs that said that Justin Roberts was better than Fink and Lillian Garcia? Did you not spot them?
Oh God, I was referring to the man who makes Adam Rose's gear.
Oh, Roman the Virgil.
Yes, you knew where I was going with that. That's the great part.
Everybody's got a price. Roman's is a free ticket to see Aquaman.
No, he doesn't need to see a ticket. He stars in the movie. Because Roman Reigns is Jason
double.
Momoa.
He's the stunt double. We've already got it sorted.
Oh my God, Roman Reigns is Jason Momoa's stunt double for Justice League.
That would explain why he wasn't wrestling in the weeks before WrestleMania.
He was wrestling in the weeks before WrestleMania.
He was filming He was probably filming the
Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Superman cameo. If he goes.
He cocks his fist and he dives 40,000 feet.
Yeah. His fist turns into a trident.
Hashtag Poseidon's Fury.
And then the guy yells, "Look, that isn't what we want on this porno set. We just want the fist."
No trident. Only fist, no trident.
No tridents, otherwise the FGM crew will come after us.
Oh my God. Let's talk about Big Show and Roman Reigns. Hey kids, it's Mark Hamill.
And he just got killed by a woman with legs.
I had to get a Kevin Smith reference in. It's me we're talking about here. First off, this match, I would tend to agree with the guy's sign that said last man awake. This match had no interest to me whatsoever, being more than just another SmackDown match or another non-televised main event after a Raw. But I gotta say, Ashley, this match definitely delivered.
Yeah, better than expected, but the expectations were below low.
Oh yeah, totally.
The expectations were to be decided via public election on May the 7th in the UK. So, undecided.
Let's talk about the notebook that was on the announce table that actually said Big Show needs to lose some weight.
Was Amy Adams in it?
Oh, man. I like Amy Adams a lot.
I vaguely remember if she was in Notebook, because I've never seen that film.
Oh, you're talking about Rachel McAdams, because she has 35 Ds in her name.
Hey, what hasn't Rachel McAdams been in? About Time?
Yeah. She's in Aloha.
The Vow?
She's in Aloha. The new Cameron Crowe film with Bradley Cooper and Emma Stone.
If any film has something to do with Hawaii, it's totally screwed.
It does have something. It's filmed in Hawaii.
That's not good. That basically what you're making there is Lost.
That isn't good. No, it's a Cameron Crowe movie in Hawaii. That's enough for me. So on camera, go ahead.
Meanwhile, back at the wrestling.
See, that's the problem with these podcasts. I always go off on tangents.
Yep.
But that's okay, because that's more fun for everyone if we talk about other things, unlike the match. So Big Show calls JBL a smartass, basically. JBL gets a chant for it. Show charges. Go ahead.
Got a chant for it, even though the crowd would never have known that it was his notebook.
No. It was just lucky. It was a lucky chant from the Chicago crowd. It really was. We get a WWE 2K15 moment when Roman Reigns gets speared to the wall.
Yeah. I just realised if it was Michael Cole's notebook, it would have said, Preston and Newcastle are not an hour and 2 hours away from London.
It's hilarious that we brought that up on the podcast last week, and Matthew brings it up in Botchamania. He watched.
He watched like us and went, nope.
I know WWE's watching this stuff because a lot of the things that we've said came on here. So WWE, I'm sure, has some guy or girl or a myriad of people just watching these podcasts from the highest all the way to the lowest.
Mariachi.
Yeah. All right. So Roman yells, "Move, move."
Move! Move, damn it!
He runs up the steps and spears him through the table. Roman gets up. He lifts the table up with his Aquaman strength, and he drops the table on top of the Big Show, kind of like Cena and Wade Barrett with the chairs at Extreme Rules. Passed.
To some extent. Yeah, but that was like a pile of chairs that just came down.
Those were chairs that fell from the ceiling.
Cascade.
And that was a Public Enemy Terry Funk, Dory Funk Jr. moment too, right there, without a doubt. Because it's funny because all the chairs were high above the entranceway, and you knew all night something bad was going to happen with them. And then we get to the last man standing match, and Cena gets up there, and next thing you know, he lets the chairs go, and Barrett's like buried under a pile of rubble.
Who needs raining cats and dogs when you can just have raining chairs?
Yeah. Rain dance. So
what
Roman.
I did like though, did like with this match was the fact that when Big Show was out, he was rolling out of the ring.
Yeah, totally.
So basically, he'd be straight on his feet immediately.
It's a smart move right there, especially in a match where you have to be up by the count of 10.
I don't think that move's been done that much. Normally, it's like, oh, I've got to climb up the ropes.
Yeah.
That's the experience of Big Show coming out. It's like, it would be easier if the whole idea is I've got to be on my feet. So, but there's so many times when it's like 6 happened and then like Big Show just gets up as if he's Undertaker.
Yeah.
Practically kips up like Shawn Michaels. It's like, oh, I'm not dead.
Well, I absolutely love the Big Show basically being laying over the apron and the referee was still counting him like he was down. I'll take a breather for 5 seconds. Oh, I'm getting counted? That's not good. I'll stand up now.
Yeah, the referee was like, do you want a breath? Do you want a breath? Do you want a breath? 1! Still on the rest. 2!
I'll give it to Roman Reigns for this match and Big Show as well. They actually put together a really cohesive match, and I love the finish. I thought it was something unique that hasn't... I'm sure it's been done before, but I still think it works. I'm not talking about the burying him under the tables thing. I'm talking about the running up the steps and hitting the spear. I thought that was nice. So... Yeah. It worked. It worked for me, and this is definitely the blow-off. There's nowhere this program can go. If Big Show would have won tonight, I could see it going at least one more pay-per-view and maybe finishing at Money in the Bank. But right now, it sounds like we're going to be moving both men on to new feuds as of Raw tomorrow night.
Hopefully.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, Bray Wyatt obviously has somebody he needs to be shooting with soon, so that'll probably be announced tomorrow.
Speaking of...
Oh, I have to mention Randy Orton basically saying to Kane that he knows who he is even if he's forgotten. But speaking of, Bo Dallas comes out with his bow tee, and you know, it's funny because he's getting the facial hair and everything, and if this program that is supposed to happen between Ryback and Bray Wyatt ends up happening, this is a good storyline and legitimate reason for it to happen if they wanted to push that direction.
Blame my RS.
You hurt my brother, now I'm going to hurt you. I don't know. Well,
Dallas gets a decent gimmick and becomes part of the flock.
Yeah, that's basically what the Wyatt family would be in this case. Would be this generation's version of the flock.
Because that's all he needs to get with that beard.
I could see Bo Dallas joining. Obviously, he wouldn't be Bo Dallas anymore. He'd probably call himself.
No, Bo Dallas should team up with Daniel Bryan, and they could be called the GOAT team.
Oh God. Oh man. GOAT team. I'm guessing that's spelled GOATEEM.
No, I was going to say the GOATEAM.
the TM.
It's not the Goa team.
The Goa TM. To quote from the SpongeBob movie.
The Goa trademark? Oh no.
Well, either way, Bo Dallas comes out and he says Chicago and his people are number one at not showering and disrespecting inspirational heroes. He basically says the people need to follow the rules on Extreme Rules, treat each other better, and all you have to do is... Here comes Ryback. No match, though. It's basically just Spinebuster, Meat Hook, Shell Shock. That's it.
Pretty much.
So let's talk about the main event. Real quick, before we talk about the actual match itself, there was a unique Let's Go Viper and Randy Sucks chant. I thought that was unique because we don't get that very often. The only person that gets that kind of a dueling chant is John Cena, so I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. It's something different, I guess, for a change is the good thing.
It really is. So, this was a steel cage match. The RKO is banned, and Kane is the gatekeeper.
Where's Zool?
I don't know anymore. I don't think Kane knows. Kane's not the gatekeeper. He looks more like Vigo. I've said this numerous times. So let's talk about Randy Orton against Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship, shall we?
Yeah.
So Orton goes to a series that I have not seen him bust out in quite a while, something that I know very well. 2 clotheslines, Dutch Rollins clothesline. Goes for the Samoa Joe style power slam, which I'll actually be able to call for real very soon. Rollins holds on and starts climbing up the cage, and Randy follows him up there. Randy gets sent face first into the cage. Rollins hits a springboard knee strike, gets a 2 count off of that. Rollins climbs over the top. Orton grabs his foot and a right hand. Orton climbs up. They both fight on top of the cage. Orton drags him down to the top rope, and Rollins with back elbow sends Orton off. Springboard gets caught. The power slam connects this time, gets a 2 off of that. So he goes for the snakebite DDT, gets countered into a roll-up 1-2, and Orton kicks out. The roll-up, of course, leads to the Avada Kedavra, and he gets a 2.5 off of that one. If they're going to give him an impact finish, why doesn't he just use that? It's a devastating move. Because why?
That'd be too easy.
Well, it was getting to be Alberto Del Rio's finish for a while, too, so... But it works. So Rollins climbs the cage, goes over the top, Orton climbs up, grabs him, has Seth Rollins dangling by his hair, literally. If he would have let go for a second, Rollins would have splat. Here comes J&J, and J&J basically watches Orton hits the superplex off the top of the cage, but somehow Rollins is still able to kick out. J&J tell Kane it's time. Kane backs him up and is like, no, I'll tell you when it's time. So Mercury and Noble climb up the cage sides. Orton tosses Rollins into one side, knocks Noble off. The other side knocks Mercury off. And the other side just for good measure. Nails an exploder suplex, which we haven't seen Orton break out in a while. Goes for the snake bite again. It gets countered once more to a backdrop, sends him into the cage. Rollins ends up getting crouched up top. Orton asks for the door to be open, and Orton nails the snake bite DDT finally, but off the top rope instead of the middle for a change. Orton starts pounding the mat, boot in the midsection, and pedigree on Seth Rollins. Opinions on that?
I'll tell you swerve, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. So if it was Triple H doing it, he would have got a 3, but no, it was a Triple H, so he didn't get a 3 count. Orton backs up with a punt kick. Rollins moves out of the way. Nails the leaping enziguri kick, or basically his version of the ghetto blaster. Kane's on the steps, unlocks the door. Rollins crawls. Orton grabs him. 3.0 backbreaker connects. Orton goes to lead. Kane shuts the door and holds it. It's like, no. You shall not pass. So Seth Rollins drop kicks the door of the cage, knocking Kane hard into the barricade. Seth goes to exit. Orton grabs him and Kane slams the door, hitting both men in the face. Well, we know what's going to happen now, don't we?
Yep.
Kane takes his tie off. Yeah, Kane takes his tie off, gets in the ring with J&J. They argue with Kane. They eat the double choke slam. He grabs Randy Orton to the surprise of absolutely no one and choke slams him. Rollins thinks, I got this. He's like, thanks, big guy, for taking care of this for me, taking care of my light work. But no, he gets cut off, and Kane ends up choke slamming Rollins and pulling Rollins' limp arm over top of Orton for the 3 count. But he kicks out still. He goes for the tombstone. He gets countered. Orton hits the RKO on Kane. It said he couldn't RKO Seth Rollins. It did not say anything about RKOing anybody else that interfered.
Well, no, it said the RKO was banned.
Well, then the referee should have called for the DQ right there.
Well, no, because he was an outside influence on the match, despite being, the gatekeeper.
But either way, he RKO'd someone in a match, regardless. If the stipulation was he only could not RKO Rollins and he hit someone else, let's say he hit Jamie Noble with it, then it'd be fine. But if he hit Seth Rollins with it, he'd be disqualified, even though, yeah, disqualification in a cage match, that works. But no, he hit somebody that wasn't even involved in the match, so the match continued. And Rollins ended up hitting the RKO that we saw pictures of on Twitter, him hitting over on a live event over the weekend, and he escaped the cage.
Yep.
Kane has probably some splaining to do on Raw tonight.
Yep.
He's going to have to answer to Triple H for, first off, taking out his goons, and then chokeslamming Seth Rollins. But at the end of the day, he still did what's best for business.
Probably.
Well, at least that's one way to look at it, I guess.
Well, clearly he's only got 1 week left, so something's happening.
Yeah, we gotta build something here. There's a big rumor right now. We're doing Rollins, Orton, and Roman Reigns at Payback. That's the whole Payback promo was basically all Roman Reigns. So, but then again, that doesn't really matter because if you really watch the Extreme Rules promo, wasn't that like a big picture of Big E? Something like that, I believe.
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah, we're obviously building to the end game being Kane finally going babyface, putting the mask back on, doing one last run, and then retiring. Because we know that Kane's days are probably numbered at this point.
Something like that, yeah.
Do you write him off, take him out on Raw tonight, or do you fire him? I mean, what's going to get him to put the mask back on, in your opinion?
Trying to think. I think just he's going to be part of Payback. I honestly think.
You think it's going to be him against Rollins at Payback?
Probably.
How do you set that match up? Triple H says you guys want to fight, let you get your aggressions out in the ring, and we'll just make the match for Payback so you both can be happy, and then after this, no more fighting between the two of you?
Something like that. Well, no, because I think Kane is probably just leaving the Authority for now.
Well, what happens at that match is Kane ends up getting turned on by Triple H, and they basically do the same thing that they did to Randy Orton.
That's the right angle that I want to see.
I never said it was, but, I mean, we're building to something with Kane and the Authority, obviously, and I have a feeling someone else will end up taking his place before too long anyway.
Yeah.
I'd like it to be Sheamus, to be honest.
We'll see.
Barrett would be my personal choice, but I don't know at this point. So, we did get one... I enjoyed this match real quick. Honestly, it was a good match for what it was. I mean, it wasn't the greatest, but the storyline works out. The stipulation worked, actually, and we build more anticipation for Kane's eventual turning, which I know that's going to happen sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
So it did what it had to do for like a pay-per-view that wasn't one of the top ones. It was just one that was kind of given. It was one of the free ones, obviously, because if you signed up for the network, you got this month for free.
Yeah.
They're seeming to have to do that a lot more often than not now.
Yep.
That's an interesting thing. Yeah, how many people actually stopped watching the network? That's my question.
14. They need them back.
Just 14 people, and we'll get you back with coupons for WWE Shop, which I still haven't used yet because I have until, like, I think June to use it.
Anyway.
So, real quick, we do have one question, Ashley, from my friend Mr. Entertainment on Twitter. It's at Mr. Entertainment, or Mr. Entertainment, MRENT92. And he asked, what is the favorite match of the night for you?
Probably, as weird as it is to say, probably the now I'm starting to get a problem. Probably the pre-show.
Yeah, the Neville and Barrett.
That was the better match of a lot of them.
Neville and Barrett was awesome. I really enjoyed the match for everything it was. And I have a good feeling we're not going to see the last of that match. I think there's a possibility we do a rematch on Raw tonight.
More than likely.
If they put that as maybe a first-round match in the King of the Ring, possibly.
There's a shout.
I could see that. Maybe like doing Dolph and Sheamus first round, King of the Ring, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who you put Rusev against, but I'm sure he'd be in the tournament. Oh, I mean, and who's going to face John Cena this week, too?
Well, Neville's got momentum.
Neville has
a good way of advertising WWE 2K15 for PC out this Tuesday.
It's out this Tuesday.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, no, it's not nice. It's probably the worst thing ever because Paige isn't part of it.
Are you kidding me?
Everything else is part of it apart from Paige.
That makes no sense. No sense at all.
So this is a legit start the hashtag. Hashtag PC wants Paige.
Okay. I'm down with that. I'm down with that hashtag. Okay. PC wants Paige. Well.
No, you don't mean political correctness.
Well, actually, PC has a different meaning to me personally, but that's another story altogether.
Political correspondent.
No. Something I'm not getting into on here. Not live. Not at all. The show was okay. I mean, it was like a middle, probably what would you say, thumbs in the middle?
Yeah. You can only give it that because of the build-up.
Yeah.
It didn't surpass expectations hugely like Mania did, which gave that a thumbs up. But
yeah, which blew my mind because I was not...
Yeah, but on hindsight, it's thumbs up, but not like a thumbs up, we're putting our thumbs so far up, we're breaking our elbows.
Yeah, this is...
good.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. It was a good pay-per-view. It's not a great pay-per-view. And it's definitely a poor follow-up to WrestleMania. It felt like a really good Raw, though.
Yeah. Be interesting to see what happens this Monday, because obviously we're only 3 weeks away from Payback now.
Yeah, they're going to have to start building immediately.
And the middle week is always going to be the problem week for them because it's Montreal.
And the crowds obviously want to cheer for who they want to cheer for in Montreal.
The other factor as well with that is I don't know whether they're going to have to work around the ice hockey.
What about it?
Well, I think Montreal are still in it,
Hmm.
and they play at the same place. They play at the Bell Center.
Really?
They literally converted the place in 24 hours for a UFC fight last Saturday. Or, yesterday, a few days back. So the question is, I'd have thought with the organization then, you can't really have a WWE there at the same time.
Okay, that makes sense.
So they're going to have to work something out with that. If they have to do the fixtures in reverse order for the
Hmm.
first four, that might have to be a factor. I don't know because until the playoffs are fully finished, they won't announce schedules or anything.
Well, I guess
If
it's
they're,
just
if
like
they're lucky, it'll be like a Sunday or a Tuesday, so it won't affect it whatsoever.
it's like when the dog show would run on USA and preempt Raw.
Yeah, pretty similar to that.
So basically, what we're saying here is just kind of like it was okay. I mean, Neville and Barrett was awesome. I really enjoyed it. Ambrose and Harper was fine, but they really need to do something else with them at this point. We need a real stipulation for these two, but I don't think they're going to go in that direction.
No, probably not.
I'd love to see these guys do barbed wire again, but it's not going to happen in WWE. I'd be shocked if it did, but it would be a good stipulation match for them.
No, they won't because Nick Gage will show up on WWE Tough Enough.
Yeah, it will. Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler was a decent match. Sheamus has really brought it since he's been back, and I really liked his ferocity. Dolph, I don't know what's going on with Ziggler. I guess we'll just have to tune in and find out. Is this the end of Dolph Ziggler in WWE? Like 2015, is this the last year he's going to be in the company? That's the question right now.
I don't think so.
I I think if he resigns, I don't think he resigns for a long time, just to basically do it on a trial period to see if he can be treated properly in that time frame, and if not, he goes elsewhere.
Yeah, I don't think he should go to TNA because that would just be problematic, especially with all the issues that are apparently coming from that still.
Yeah, that's horrible what's been going on with TNA. I got to talk TNA actually this week. It sounds like we're going to put NXT and Impact on the same video again because of all the scheduling issues with my work schedule this week. Naomi and Nikki was actually a decent match. I did not mention it in the calling of the match, but Nikki Bella actually broke out a really nice cross arm breaker, a nice Jujigatami. Since we're talking about Del Rio with using the Avada Kedavra as Seth Rollins, I thought it was useful that Nikki Bella broke out a rolling cross arm breaker. I thought that looked cool. But they really need to decide if they're going to make the Bellas face or if they're just going to have heel versus heel for a while until Paige comes back, because there is really no top baby face in the division right now.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. Big Show and Roman Reigns shocks everyone. Honestly, they really brought it tonight. Kudos to both men. I'm not a fan really of either one, but they really had a great blow off of their feud, and I don't see any way you can go any further.
And then it continues tomorrow night.
Yes. John Cena and Rusev, obviously we're going to get the end of that feud, the I Quit match at Payback. Like I said, I think Lana's throwing the towel, and that's going to end to her and Rusev splitting up on television. And Lana, I don't know what she would do after that. I don't think you put a valet with Cena. It'd be an interesting dichotomy, but I don't think they would do it. I'm curious where they would go from there. I mean, Jack Swagger is definitely not going to be the option because that match has happened 5,300 times. So,
I've just had a weird thought for the Divas stuff now.
go ahead.
Who have they been profiling in the last week on the website with her return?
Oh, the stuff with Eva Marie learning how to do the Tornado DDT with Brian Kendrick?
Well, learning how to wrestle.
Well, I was going to be a little nicer than that, but yes.
She's going to come back and they're going to go, oh, she's going to get the cheering heat. Unless she's really stepped up her game, you might as well just let her come back heel as well.
God. Eva Marie could be a babyface, though, if they really wanted to do something with her. I mean, but they're even turning Emma at this point, too. And she was, like, straight hardcore babyface for a while. The only option now...
That good in the ring. Those
No.
will turn on her quicker than, the turn of a card. At, I don't know.
I saw that NXT match. It was abysmal.
Jordan's gambling addiction. Thanks, Barrett. You gave me an out.
Sweet. Obviously, the top babyface in like the Divas division would definitely be Bayley if they would pick her up and bring her up to the main roster. But I don't think she's done everything she can do in NXT yet.
We're that desperate, bringing Mickie James.
No, she's still working for TNA for now.
Wait until the contracts go wrong again, and then it'll be
like. People give too much flack to TNA. I really hope that TNA gets out of this, the problems they're having right now. Ryback and Bo Dallas, I have a feeling they may have a match, actually, tomorrow, probably on Raw.
Yeah, because that's how Bray Wyatt comes out and says, oh, yeah, Ryback always wanted to be a god. When?
Skip Sheffield wanted to be a god. Yep, what a do.
Tough enough.
Yeah, it's a great promotion for Tough Enough. And a great promotion for the Nexus, too. Or are we supposed to forget the Nexus existed?
You walk alone, mate.
Rollins and Orton was okay. The cage was used. Yeah, that was basically it. It was okay. Convoluted finish, but it worked because they were using it to build Kane's turn eventually. So obviously he's going to have to answer to Triple H on Raw tonight. So that's what we've got.
Technically, I think Orton has claimed to say, hold on, it was said that the RKO was banned.
He didn't say who couldn't do the RKO. That's a good point.
That, I think, is probably that might lead to the whole Payback name.
That actually does make sense.
You can have Kane as referee.
Yep.
Of course, you have Kane versus Big Show. And then Kane... You see, Kane could take on Rollins at Money in the Bank. Because then that frees Orton up to be in that ladder match if they want to do it that way.
Okay, you know how every once in a while when they're having an Authority promo, they have that Kane's mask in a glass case?
Mm-hmm.
I think you cut to that several times on Raw tonight, and at the end of the show, you do yet another really annoying six-man or tag team match. And at the end of the match, Kane comes out with the music, with the fire, wearing freaking gear, and the mask, and he comes out, and he's a deciding factor of it. Because they'll fire him at the beginning of the show. He'll be fired for insubordination.
Yeah, but 2 weeks' notice.
Doesn't matter.
He's going to do something in Montreal. That's the key thing. His 2 weeks' notice finishes in Montreal.
Yeah, but I know for a fact you don't have to work someone that's working a 2 weeks' notice. You can still take them off the schedule, even though they're still hired.
Yeah, I'm thinking Kane is going to do Triple H, and Montreal is going to go absolutely crazy because it's Triple H.
It's possible.
Triple H screwed Brett.
Yeah. He's the only one with the company. He's the only one still with the company that they could do that with, though.
Oh. Stephanie wants to get badly involved.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, Ashley, when it comes down to it, if the Authority went away tomorrow, I'd miss it, but I really think that these Authority angles need to go away for a while.
no, the authority angles need to be better written. Then
Well,
they
they need to go away, or they need to have better writers. And if they're not going to get better writers, they need to go away.
We'll see.
So I guess that's what we've got for Extreme Rules. Tomorrow, Ashley and myself will be going live once again for another WWE Popcast, talking about the events of Raw, which is going to be tomorrow night. Do you know where they are for tomorrow night's Raw?
Kennedy.
Green Bay. Okay, right on. So they'll be behind an hour, I believe. Or 2 hours, one of the two. Something like that. Well, it'll be live, but I mean, they'll be like their time is going to be different than ours, so. Which obviously it's not midnight for you where you are, so.
It can be if you want it to be.
Oh, it is. But...
midnight and it's daylight outside. This is the best thing ever. Perpetual daylight, people.
That's awesome. So Ashley will be bringing Gaming with Ash. He probably will have a video sometime this week if we got that worked out.
A little bit later because I was going to do stuff on Mortal Kombat. Then it was going to change to the whole Steam mods thing, which has become a pretty touchy subject with quite a lot of people. And then something broke in the last few hours, which is a follow-up to one of my videos from a few weeks back. And that it looks as if Konami are a bunch of effing idiots.
Oh, wow. Stay tuned. That's a good tease right there, sir.
That's your PT right there. Wink, wink. Promo teaser.
Right on.
What that game may tell you.
And this is live, so I mean, there you go. Unless you're listening on archive, then it's not live. But for those of you that did listen tonight live, thank you. Very much appreciated for that. For those of you that are listening to an archive, if you like what you're hearing, leave a comment at the bottom of this video. I believe in positivity. I'll just say it that way. I know this is the internet, but still, bad comments will not be posted for everyone to see. So I will say right now that Ashley will be joining me tomorrow. Obviously, we're going to be doing another Owen and Ashley Talk WWE Raw, which is now going to be a Popcast from now on, live after the final bell of Raw, whichever it's being 11:15. I think we'll probably go live at 11:30 tomorrow night. Does that sound about right?
Something like that.
So yeah, for Raw,
everybody's got to recover from seeing Jerry's. Oh, actually. Yeah, that's something that they did mention at the end of the pay-per-view as well.
Okay.
The Jerry Springer thing is on demand on the network.
Okay.
The thing that's actually playing on the network is the Mayweather Big Show thing.
Oh, okay, right on.
Being shown again on the Friday. To hype up, obviously, the big fight next Saturday. But, yeah. The Jerry Springer thing is solely on demand, but what will be airing afterwards is basically just them trying to hook onto the everybody wants to see Big Show leave, and everybody wants to see Floyd Mayweather leave. The lose-lose situation. Yes, and
tomorrow, well, Tuesday will be the 1 hour King of the Ring, whatever it ends up being, on the network as well. Wednesday is, I believe, is that the Mick Foley Cheap Pops comedy special?
Well, it's Have a Nice Night.
Okay.
At 9 Eastern, and then 10 Eastern is Cheap Pops. So I think it's a separate entity.
Right on. And then, of course, Thursday is Chris Jericho's podcast with Stephanie McMahon after SmackDown.
Yeah, don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, I'm not.
Hopes up. Jericho Cena, and I think they've realized Jericho isn't going to be asking as many crunch questions as Stone Cold would. Yeah, they probably should. I like Jericho a lot, but as an interviewer, Austin would probably be the person I'd want asking more hard-hitting questions, but I think WWE probably wants... It was good with Cena in which you got stories that you'd never hear, because Cena never does interviews in that sense. That's true. Wrestler to wrestler.
Those are entertaining.
I don't think you're going to get many backstage stories from Stephanie, though, so I don't know what's
No,
happening.
probably not.
And for those people that can't disconnect the WWE being real and what happens in real life, there's going to be a lot of people basically going, this be a star thing. How truthful are we supposed to take it?
Yeah. Especially
That
after...
question won't be answered, or asked, or even thought about.
Oh, guaranteed not.
It would just be... Remember that angle when we were supposed to be screwing each other?
There will not be anything talking about what Jericho called Stephanie 5 million times on television.
Yeah, they could be. They could be.
And they'll both laugh about it.
It'll be edited out of the version that actually broadcasts on his show.
Yeah. So that's what we've got. I don't believe there's anything else like special on the network. Obviously, NXT is Wednesday, so...
Yeah, building to... I think it's the week after Payback, the
next takeover.
next takeover.
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, one more time. NXT Championship on the line.
Titled Revenge.
I actually have a lot of friends that are going to be attending that live, so hopefully, fingers crossed, something happens. I can be able to attend another one.
Get a big, huge Sami Zayn face for that one.
Yeah, anybody that's listening right now that's in attendance at Full Sail for Takeover or the tapings afterwards the next day, get a ginormous Sami Zayn face, and we want to see it.
Can you do a 3D print of Sami Zayn's face?
I've seen the crowd there. There's some pretty awesome people, so I think if any of them heard this, they probably would totally do this, without a doubt.
Send it to them.
So that being said, basically we've got Popcast coming from now on. They're going to be live after the pay-per-views and after Raw. When we get TakeOver, we're going to do one of those as well. I don't know if we're going to do anything for King of the Ring Tuesday. That's basically going to be a, if whatever happens when it's over, we'll see if it's worth talking about.
Yeah.
And I will be bringing you NXT and Impact coverage in the next couple of days. Tomorrow is going to be Ashley and I talking Raw and another podcast at 11 p.m. So 11 p.m. we're going to be talking Raw. And I was trying to head for an hour, but we've almost about an hour 40 now. So I think our cap would be 2 hours, if anything. So we're definitely going to go longer than that unless it's something major like a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam or a Royal Rumble. So like you said, Survivor Series, sadly, is not in that big four anymore.
Know that.
Well, yeah. And obviously, later this week, we have something else that's coming up I probably should be plugging here, too. I will be joining the In the Loop podcast. Yeah, I did a Halloween Horror Nights podcast with Toronto Josh the other night, and it did really well, and you guys really enjoyed it. So I will be joining In the Loop to talk Halloween Horror Nights, and that's going to be coming up on Wednesday. So I'll give you guys more information on my Twitter to talk about that. Ashley, you have the whole indie show coming up this week as well?
Yeah, we're going to be talking all the craziness that happened this weekend. And including how I might have preempted the future.
Right on.
Probably why Drew Gulak was wondering whether I was a CCW insider. But I'll get to that on that show.
And don't forget, I am the one who predicted almost a year in advance that Ben Affleck would be Batman. So I know what you mean about predicting things.
Well, I didn't predict it. It's just that they advertised it 6 months ago and deleted it and thinking nobody will remember.
You're not supposed to remember this. You did not see anything.
I'll go flip yourself.
All right on. So, we've got a brand new Sip and Snack coming this week. I believe we're going to be focusing on root beer. That special's been coming up for a while. I got a big surprise for you guys. It is the 2-year anniversary of Pop on Friday, and we got some special content coming this week. We got new Gaming with Ash coming with a brand new Versus that we just got today. Thought we were finished with the gangster theme. We are not. We have one more to do with you guys on Sunday. Like I said, I'll be joining In the Loop on Wednesday. I got a new Sip and Snack coming up. AJ's movie reviews, The Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, as well as Ex Machina, and Adult Beginners and While We're Young is coming up for your AJ's Movie Reviews, which is coming out on Thursday this week. So you're going to get it a day early.
Friday, something fancy.
Nah, we'll see what Friday brings. Friday may end up being a podcast. I haven't quite decided yet. We'll just see what happens. Depends on my schedule, because it is the opening of the Avengers after all.
Yeah.
So again, thank everyone out there for watching. If you joined us for a minute or 2 minutes or the whole hour and 40 minutes, thank you very much. And hopefully you'll join us again on Raw tomorrow night. If you like what you're hearing, like, comment, subscribe. You know how it works. And spread the word here about Pop and this channel in general. So if you'd like to follow Ashley on Twitter, it's at AshIsMyNameUK. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's at SirOwenDisney. Ashley can be reached on his email. I believe it's sticksandflicks at SNS Radio Network.
SNSRadioNetwork.com. I don't want to make it too complicated.
Right on. Sticks at SNSRadioNetwork.com. And also, you can like our Facebook fan page. It's Sir Owen Disney Pop, or if you search by on Facebook, it's Sir Owen Disney and Pop. Find Ashley at Ashley Richardson and find me at Owen Disney. And thank you guys and girls out there for watching. Once again, Ashley, thank you for joining me yet again. It was always fun, as always.
Yeah, let's hope Mel Gibson's better in 3 weeks.
We'll see what happens. So that being said, thank you guys and girls out there for watching. Ashley, I will join you on Raw tomorrow. We will join you guys for another podcast. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.